important video about the pallet recycling business that a lot of people can't grasp by just looking at it briefly. So I'm going to break this down. This is about the amount of money that can be made. We're going to show an exact example and the time it takes to do it, so you have an idea of what your return is based on the amount of effort and time it takes to actually execute a pallet recycling order on a local level. Okay, so I've broken down these columns, and you have to read them from top to bottom, each row. And we're going to go through three examples. These two photos you see are from yesterday. I don't know if you can see this. I can make it a little bit bigger. It's two separate posts from a student who's taken the Simplest Biz training and is out there executing the business. This was posted one day ago. And this one down here was yesterday as well. So it says yesterday right here. I can, for purposes so you can see it, it says yesterday as well. So there were two separate posts having to do with the same order. And let's break this down. In this particular example that we're going to go over, it's looking like it's in this particular column, all right? But we'll go over other examples because some people have different size trucks as well. So let's break down the money and the time it takes to execute. Fair enough? These look like grade A pallets right here, meaning they haven't been repaired. They're lightly used. He has 8 stacks of 20 in each stack, all right? So it's 160 pallets per load. So this particular example is going to match up with this particular one right here, okay? So it was 300 pallets at $10 a piece as an example, because he didn't say exactly what he was charging per pallet. So we're going to go through different examples on that. So if it was 2 loads at 300 pallets, at 160 per load, we're at a $10 per pallet get, right? I'm getting them for free. Delivering 2 loads of 150 pallets per load should take 1.25 hours to 2.5 hours if you're delivering these from a supplier locally to a buyer locally, right? The Simplest Biz training program teaches you how to set these deals up and who these businesses are and what to say and get exclusivity and all that, and they're recurring orders. So this is someone who's doing a recurring order for a business. It's not a one-off. So let's break this down from top to bottom. Used wooden pallets, grade A, $3,000 is what his get was. 300 pallets, $10 per pallet. Delivering 2 loads at 150 pallets per load should take 1.5 to 2.5 hours locally. Delivering, let's say he had a smaller truck and he was delivering 3 loads at 100 pallets per load instead of 160 pallets per load, it would take anywhere from 2.25 hours to 3.25 hours if you're delivering locally, okay? So that's the time it took him most likely to get to $3,000. That's the common experience in the pallet business. Now, let's say they were grade B or number 2s is another term. Let's say they were lightly used pallets but have been repaired, and he was only getting $7.50 a piece for this. In this example, if he was only getting $7.50, he would have to be delivering 400 pallets to get to the $3,000 mark. Understood? So if you're delivering 2 loads of 200 pallets to get to that 400 pallet level, it should take him 1.25 hours to 2.5 hours locally, right? So he would have needed a bigger truck, another few feet on this truck to be able to do 200 pallets per load. So instead of a 14-footer, it'd need to be like a 16-footer to make that happen. Now, delivering 4 loads of 100 pallets per load should take 3 to 4 hours locally. Since you're doing more pallets, 400 instead of 300, because you're having a lower per pallet amount, to get to that $3,000 mark will take 3 to 4 hours if he's doing it locally. Now, there are some scenarios where the supplier and buyer are ridiculously close to each other. You're only going 2 blocks instead of 2 or 3 or 4 miles, right? So that would cut that down considerably, even the travel time between the two places. Now, he's not lifting them. He's not sorting them. He's not repairing them. He is going straight from point A to point B. Okay. So we always talk about pallets, but let's pretend this was corrugated boxes. All right. Now, there's a company called Uline that sell corrugated boxes, just your average size box. And when I say corrugated, I mean cardboard boxes that industry needs to move stuff and put stuff in that go on top of pallets, actually. So as a side note, the people we sell pallets to, we also can sell corrugated boxes to. So how could you get to $3,000 with corrugated boxes as another example? At $4.75 a box, that would be 631 corrugated boxes to be moved. If he was doing 2 loads, stacked up, folded up boxes stacked on top of each other with 315 boxes per load, that would take 1.25 to 2.5 hours locally. Now, if he had a smaller truck, he was delivering 3 loads of 208 per load, that would take 2.25 hours to 3.25 hours locally to get to the $3,000 mark that he made in that day. So ask yourself, how many hours does it take for you now to make $3,000? And compare it to what this gentleman's doing who's gone through the Simplest Biz training program. How many hours did you have to work? What level of effort? How many days or weeks would you be chained to your job to get this type of money that this person made in a day? How many weeks of work in some cases would you have to work to get that type of money on a daily basis? Even if he was paying $1, $2 per pallet for these particular ones, and that knocked that to $8 a pallet as far as profit, we are still talking really good money for the amount of time it took this individual to do it. Did he lift the pallets? No. The forklift drivers put them on his truck. Did he have to repair them? No. Did he have to store them? No. He's going straight from a supplier to a buyer. So you really need to understand this concept when it comes to this business model and understand knowing how to get these accounts and the exclusivity and how to help these businesses out, whether it be the supplier or the buyer, and how to get out of the gate and move quickly and get to where you want to be, to where you can have an ongoing order like this week after week after week after week. How would that change your life? How much time freedom would that produce for you by working these numbers right here? I'm telling you, even if I had to double the amount of time that it took to do this, triple it, that's way more money than a lot of people make in a month, in 2 weeks. So take this to the bank. This particular business model allows you to multiply yourself exponentially, because we are not trading time for money. We're trading units for money. Unfortunately, there's 2.5 billion pallets circulating around the United States, 5 point something billion in the world, and it's the same everywhere. You just need to learn the information to make it happen. This is John Wilker, owner of the Simplest Biz. I sell a training course that teaches you how to do this. But you need to go to thesimplestbiz.com and opt in for more information. Go over that information, and then you'll be prompted to book an appointment to ask your questions so you can get some clarity if this matches up with your life. Have a good one and Happy New Year.